If your marriage feels like it's collapsing, you may be entering what specialists call Season 4. It's the winter phase of marriage repair, a period defined by emotional withdrawal, physical distance, and intense psychological pain. This isolation is a deliberate pause. Like a tree shedding leaves to survive the frost, couples step back to heal individually and reconnect with God. Stepping away from the conflict should bring peace, but spouses often find that when they retreat into this quiet, the emotional chaos actually spikes. That sudden surge of panic isn't random. The adversary actively targets this vulnerable state of isolation to exploit the distance and prevent the marriage from ever reaching the spring. When you step back to heal, you step onto a civil battlefield. This season requires fighting a psychological war to keep the relationship alive. Matthew chapter 4 records Christ's 40 days in the wilderness, which is the standard for surviving this level of psychological warfare. Christ retreated into the harsh desert for sacred connection with his Father. Spouses in Season 4 follow this pattern, retreating from their marital dynamic to find spiritual grounding. That extreme isolation carried a severe physical cost. After fasting for 40 days, Christ experienced a profound, desperate physical hunger. For a spouse navigating a marital winter, that fasting manifests as intense emotional and physical starvation, a deep ache for safety, intimacy, and reassurance. This craving for connection is a valid, mortal reality, yet it is the exact vulnerability the adversary chooses to strike. The enemy waits until our natural emotional hunger is at its absolute peak, and then he launches a highly calculated psychological assault. To see how this spiritual attack plays out in real time, consider a modern living room. A wife is waiting for her husband to come home. They are in a fragile stage of repair, and tonight he is late. This chart maps her psychological reaction. Her mind processes the delay through a sequence of internal voices. The first is hunger. This is the initial, natural ache of fear or loneliness surfacing as she watches the clock. This initial feeling is a mortal reality. On its own, it remains entirely manageable. That stabilization comes from the second voice, logic. This is the rational pause that assesses the unknown without panicking. It tells her, he might be stuck in traffic. I don't have all the facts yet. If she stops at logic, the hunger remains contained. The true danger lies in the voices that attempt to hijack that rational pause. Suddenly, a third voice takes over, torment. This is an intrusive, panic-inducing spiritual attack that masquerades as her own thoughts. Torment catastrophizes the late arrival with absolute statements. It whispers, he doesn't care about you. It's happening again. You are entirely unlovable. This panic triggers the fourth voice, temptation. This voice manifests as an overwhelming urge to force immediate emotional relief or exact punishment, driving the impulse to send a hostile text or shut down completely. This mirrors Satan telling a starving Christ to turn stones into bread. It is an invitation to use an impulsive, invalid method to satisfy a valid, desperate need. Satan targets your spiritual discernment, hoping you will bypass God's deliberate healing process. He weaponizes the clock to make his invitation feel like the only way out. The husband's late arrival is merely the hook. The real crisis is the trickery of torment, which convinces a spouse to destroy their marriage just to temporarily soothe their fear. Defeating torment requires a specific defense mechanism known as weather checking. Instead of panicking about the unknown, weather checking trains you to calmly and objectively gather information about your spouse's behavior. You categorize their actions as external weather, sunny, stormy, or a hurricane. Then, instead of reacting out of sudden emotion, you execute a predetermined protocol. If it rains, you grab an umbrella. This requires a shift in how you process your own mind. Not every thought you have deserves your trust, and not every feeling you experience requires immediate action. When fear hits, you must reach upward to God for emotional regulation and safety before reaching outward in panic toward your spouse. Treating unpredictable behavior as weather you can prepare for neutralizes the adversary's ability to turn a minor storm into a relationship-ending hurricane. We find the result of this discipline at the end of the Matthew 4 wilderness narrative. When Christ refused to bypass the process and rejected the stones, the devil left him. Then angels came and ministered to him. Using logic and discernment to withstand the torment during your own isolated winter eventually breaks the psychological attack. Relief arrives. Enduring this isolation correctly, without giving in to torment, is the prerequisite for true relational healing. The brutal isolation of the marital winter provides the sacred preparation required to walk back into a resurrected marriage.